This is my 1970 Ford F100. It's been one of my favorite vehicles of all time. Problem being, it gets 13 miles a gallon on a good day. So what we have going on is a 302 out of a 1995 Mustang, RPM air gap, Edelbrock 600 carburetor, headers, a T18 4-speed, and a Ford 9-inch. So none of that actually sounds like it'll get good gas mileage, but we're going to do some tricks to try to get that number to 15, 16, 17. We'll see how high we go.
You might be asking yourself, hey there Mr. Overspray Garage Man, how do I also get classic vehicle gas mileage? Well, let me tell you. First you're going to want to get you one of these doohickeys. It does the suck. And you're going to want to hook that doohickey up to your old vacuum advance. If you're wondering what we're doing, we're going to be tuning our vacuum advance to our super hog cam. Definitely not a stock Mustang cam.
So what you want to do is go to your local auto parts store and find a vacuum fitting that goes from your one hose to the other. Do not stick it in here like I just did, because I don't want to go to the store. That's not a good idea. It's not holding pressure. What you're going to want to probably do is buy the correct size hose. We did not do that, so we're zip tying one hose to the other, and that should hold pressure. Let's see. Nope. Double the zip ties is double the sealing, and as you can clearly see, it's holding pressure.
That's not holding pressure.
It's holding pressure.
You're moving your hand to keep it.
No. That's not what eyes are deceiving. Just rub some axle grease on it and seal it up. You're also going to want to block off both of your vacuum ports. On Edelbrock, this one's ported, and that one is manifold. Yep, professional vacuum plug. Now what all this is for is when you apply vacuum, you'll notice your vacuum advance is actually moving your point set. I'm running Pertronics, but same idea.
To explain things a little better, we are using the vacuum advance to get the most efficient fuel burn possible at cruising speeds. Now, if we were doing this the correct way, we would take multiple data points across a wide variety of speeds, such as 25, 45, and 70, and get a vacuum pod with a timing curve that would closely match the desired timing at said speeds. However, we figured this truck spends 90% of its life at highway speeds, so we're only tuning for that particular event. If you want a very in-depth look at timing via vacuum advance, go check out this video by Unity Motorsports Garage. However, if you just want a crash course, you're in the right place, and we're just trying to bring more attention to what seems like a forgotten art.
Now, there's no point in actually trying to do this if you do not have an adjustable vacuum advance. And one of the ways people say you can tell is by a hex outside. I'm not sure if that's totally true, but you can stutter a little bit and then put a silver Allen wrench in there and see if it turns and if you get any difference in your vacuum.
Silver size Allen wrench, the proper size. This particular motor vehicle is equipped with a vacuum gauge inside, but you're going to need a separate vacuum gauge so you can read your vacuum readings while you're cruising down the road. Also need one of those doohickeys.
We interrupt this message to bring you some quick tech tips.
This is a tech tip for 1 horsepower, guaranteed. So you're going to want to go ahead and just do you a little one of these. I didn't. We got to do it bigger. There you go. KN.
Oh, it's K and air filter now.
Yeah, that's for guaranteed a horsepower.
What about the and? Isn't it K and N?
U-N-D. And.
K und N?
K und N.
K und N? That's at least 10 horsepower.
Yeah, it's German now. German.
Wait, I thought we were doing this for fuel efficiency.
Yeah, power efficiency kind of boils down to the same thing.
Oh yeah, it's 100%, right?
Oh yeah.
This is all in the name of efficiency. Fuel efficiency.
What's that guy's name?
I don't know.
Look, I'm Worf from Star Trek.
I don't think that's the right character.
Oh, okay. Frisbee golf.
Nailed it. Installed.
Good to go. One other horsepower mod is always flip the lid.
Even on aftermarket air filters.
Even on aftermarket air filters.
Also, you're going to want to inspect your vehicle for signs of aerodynamic maladies, like this bird smear. You got to get rid of that. That's at least half a mile a gallon.
One other thing that'll help your gas mileage is running a low weight oil, like a 5W40. What? Now there's no point in doing any of this if your motor isn't set up properly with the timing and your carburetor. So make sure you get all that stuff squared away before you tune using the vacuum pod.
So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go find a nice flat even space of land, and you're going to want to set a constant speed, whatever you want your most efficiency to be at. For us it's going to be like 65, 70 miles an hour. And what you're going to do is you're going to increase the vacuum pressure on the vacuum advance canister until you read peak vacuum on your vacuum gauge. That is your most efficient burn. You're going to want to run your vacuum pump into the in-cab area. We're using the wing window. If you don't have one of those, well then, good luck.
Somebody sit on your hood.
Yeah, just have somebody sit on your hood.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Alright, so we have the left is the tachometer, the middle is the vacuum gauge to the motor, and the right hand gauge is the gauge that we're manually activating. And when he pumps up the manual gauge, you can see the vacuum will increase on the motor and the RPMs as well. So now it's climbing, we're at 20, RPMs are up to 1,000, it's at 21, and just 21 and yeah, just over 21. So that's what you're essentially doing while you're on the cruise. You guys ever on like a 4-day road trip in your old vehicle and your seatbelt breaks on hour 2 and you gotta put a carabiner in it? Me neither.
Away onto the road we go.
1970s power steering is about the best power steering ever made.
Well, this was a pain to do because around here flatland isn't exactly everywhere. It took us like a couple hours just to find a suitable stretch of road to do this on. But at the end we found about 11 inches of mercury is about where the truck likes to be, and it produced about 18 inches on the truck's gauge, and we're about 2,700 RPM, which equated to about 65, 70 miles an hour. So that is the event we're going to tune for on our vacuum pod.
So now what we're going to do to figure out what timing our truck actually wants at highway cruising speeds, we're going to reset this gauge back to 11 inches of mercury so we can recreate the conditions that were on the highway by revving the motor back up to 2,700 RPMs, holding this at 11 inches of mercury, and then using a timing light to figure out what the timing is at.
Another thing that is greatly helpful is having a timing light with the dial-y bits on it, because you got numbers on there and it'll help you figure stuff out. Another benefit of this timing light is it makes Star Trek noises. We found that 11 inches of vacuum creates, how many was it, 11 degrees?
11 degrees of advance, yeah.
So we're going to make it so 11 degrees advance is at 15 inches of vacuum.
Now we're doing 15 instead of 18 because we found out afterwards that this gauge, it runs 3 inches of mercury high, it being, I don't know how old, probably came with the truck. So that's why we're doing 15 instead of 18, but you'll do whatever your reading was while you're cruising. Set it to 14?
I think so, right? Because
Okay.
18's 3 minus 14.
No,
I mean,
3 minus 18 is 15.
yeah.
So 15?
Yeah, 15.
Okay, ready?
Yeah. A little more, hold on. Let me do there. At 15.
15.
And then at 23 is it? There or more. Tell me when you're there. Oh.
15.
That's 22 now.
Is that good?
I think that's it.
That's it. Now that we're all set and tuned, we're going to take it for a quick test drive, and then we'll drive around for a while and let you know where we're at mileage-wise.
Is this how you shift this?
Oh, God.
4th gear for gas mileage. We're cruising at 200 RPM. Yeah. Another thing is you're gonna want to pull on the choke. Make sure that's out for gas mileage.
For gas, I thought choke makes it richer.
Yeah. Richer is better.
Oh, like rich mahogany and leather-bound books.
Yeah.
More fancy, more mileage.
Yeah. It's okay. You can turn it off.
And now we merge onto the highway spiritedly for fuel mileage.
Now we've gone, test drove it, revved up to 5,500 RPM, which I've never really taken this truck to. A lot happier with that. I went to the old Tractor Supply to get parts for my tractors. I got at least half of these kinds of tractors. Back to the ranch.
Well, guys, we made it back to the house, and after 102 miles, we put 6.8 gallons in this bad boy, giving us 15 miles to the gallon in this old rig. That's pretty good. And we were 3 wide, and we ran into a couple traffic jams too, so, you know, it might even be 16. Now keep in mind with this particular truck, it has a somewhat stock camshaft in it, so the vacuum was pretty high, which means I cannot stress enough how much you guys need to do this on your hot rods, because I'm assuming you're running huge cams. What are you doing behind me?
I was going to see if I have tire pressure for gas.
Okay, anyways, moving on. You want to make sure if you have like a big camshaft or something, you're going to have even less vacuum, and that's going to make the problem even worse. Because your vacuum can is going to be designed for the factory to run with a stock cam like 19, 20 inches of mercury at idle. If you're down like in the 10 range, you're only going to benefit from this even more. You might not get the peak numbers we're getting, but your overall mileage improvement will be huge. All right, now that we're wrapping up, what do you have to say to the people, Austin?
I can drive my truck again. I get good gas mileage. Getting 12 miles a gallon, 13, kind of killing the bank. Next thing we're going to do is take this here supercharger, put it on this here carburetor, and we're probably going to get 40 to 80 miles a gallon. So
what?
Stay tuned for that.
Basically what it boils down to is that over there is now, I don't even want to be here anymore. Anyways, later guys.